Welcome back, everyone, to a Red Spotlight reaction series for the second season of Andor. I'm Alexis, and I'm joined by David Francisco here. We're missing one member of our trio because she was fired. Anyway, moving on. No, she's apparently not feeling well, so she kind of, in all honesty, she probably already watched the episodes. So she was like, how about I just don't sit for 3 hours to do a recording? Anyway, that being said, look, this show is absolutely incredible. In the week since we sat down and watched these episodes, the new ones, I went back and watched season one. And it was like watching it for the first time over again. It is such an incredible piece of art. The work really does speak for itself, and I feel like because I had never watched it back over again, I would only ever watch it like week to week when it was new. Wow, it really does honestly hold up, and it's just really exciting and interesting to see where this is going to go. We do know of one thing. I don't know if it's called a spoiler, but we know, and I think it was reported before the fact, that Bail Organa was recast in this season because of scheduling conflicts, which is interesting. We'll get to that when we see it. Benjamin Bratt is going to step up to play him, which I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be jarring because we're just so used to seeing Jimmy Smits, and he's so good in that role too, is the issue.
I love that actor. So anytime he just shows up, like he just always has a presence whenever he shows up on anything, and I like it. So it sucks, but I think if I'm right, who they replaced, I like him too. He's pretty good. But
yeah. There's again, the actors really they're not the issue here. It's just we'll see where it goes. Again, we haven't seen anything besides that, but that's what I hear. I also think we're moving forward a year already after the last three, which is really interesting. By the way, I feel like those episodes really held up really nicely. I watched them back a few times over with different reactors, like Heroes Reforged and other people, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is actually really. And there were a lot of things that I was watching on the Twitter Spaces, people reacting and like taking it apart and like making some really wonderful connections. Like the whole idea of the winter retreat for Krennic and those other people when they were planning to do genocide, basically, and how it ended up being inspired by Adolf Hitler's like personal like Alps apartment or something. It's just like, and they say Star Wars ain't political. And speaking of, I gotta tell you, it has been a funny week for a lot of reasons, but we cannot start without having to take a moment to just appreciate where we are. And it's actually a really interesting moment because this week, Revenge of the Sith came back into theaters to celebrate its 20th anniversary, and it made $45 million, which is just like, wow, no one saw that coming. It's a big freaking story. And then, of course, I revisited Andor. This coming May the 4th, we're going to have Tales of from the Underworld drop, which is going to be Ventress and Cad Bane centric, which we're all very much pumped up for. And it's really interesting. And I've also just like, it's a good reminder of Star Wars. There's actually a lot of really good in Star Wars, and I think we focus too much on the negativity. Speaking of, in large part because of one idiot that continues to humiliate himself. And one would think after years and years and years of, and the thing, what makes this person unique in comparison to other people like geeks and gamers know they're being disingenuous and are bad faith actors and are there to make money for themselves by using hate and spreading it out there. And then there are the chumps, the real dodo birds that legitimately buy into the propaganda, and they've just they consider themselves personally insulted by Lucasfilm and what they've done, and so they're literally blinded with rage. What are you talking about, Alexis? Well, I am talking about a situation where truly there are. I'm sure everyone has seen what's happening out there, but I feel like it was one of those situations where there truly words could not really do it justice. So, you may have noticed that part of the coverage of Andor, at least when it comes to the Star Wars online base, was sparked because I believe his name is Chet, the guy that runs Star Wars Theory, or I guess he's the Star Wars Theory guy.
Mm.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I don't know his real name. I just go by Star Wars Theory. So
yeah, because he apparently highly objected to the idea that Star Wars should have any kind of mention of rape, much less the idea that it should be suggested or showed, as it was kind of very much out there in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And he made some really dumb comments about how the Empire wouldn't stand for rape, or that Vader wouldn't stand for it. And I gotta tell you, that's really fucking funny.
No, I know. Okay.
I'm like,
for him, none of the defenses that you made for that made any sense at all. Okay, so he goes that rape or sexual assault shouldn't be in Star Wars. Where did he start off with? Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I remember now. So he specifically said something like that shouldn't be in live action Star Wars. And he says that specifically because there's something like that was in the comics and the Legends books and all that. And his defense for that is, well, the books are different from live action, And he asks people like, no, don't you think that? And to me, I say, no, there's no difference. And how do I know this? The Last Airbender. Cartoon show for kids. I mean, there was genocide in that. That's already pretty impactful. But I've read the Kyoshi books. There's no sexual assault in that, but there were some scenes where, it get kind of gruesome. Like there was a character who was like bleeding out and all that, really, really injured and all. And for something like that, to me, I was like, oh, dang, that's the big leap from, the child cartoon show that we saw and all that. But I liked it. I didn't have any complaints about it. I kind of hoped they would, put more of it on and all that. It's perfectly fine. And again, there's no difference because that's a really big leap. But then also for the Star Wars books, when they showed stuff like that, they didn't have to do that. They could have just, if it was the Star Wars movies were for kids, they could have made the books for kids. I know this too because Percy Jackson. What is this? 23 books in total of the Percy Jackson series, all for kids. Nothing goes over, nothing too gruesome or anything like that. Then you also have the Rick Rider Presents line, which is basically like Percy Jackson, but, with different mythologies or folklore and all that. Still all for kids. Not one of them goes above, not even showing like a bloody nose from someone or something like that, they don't do that. So it's not like you can take all these kinds of liberties with books, whether it's for kids or not. No, it's all the same. So that excuse, I'm sorry, out the window. Okay, if it can do it in the books, it can do it in the live action stuff.
Okay.
And then what is? Oh, he also said, they pointed out, it's like, oh, you don't want sexual assault on these, but killing children is all that is fine. Blowing up planets is fine, and all that. His defense was, Anakin killing the children, there was a story reason for that. He had to do that in order to go more and more into the dark side and gain more power than he's ever known and all that. And even people he was on YouTube with, or, going live with, they were all pointing out the same thing. It's like, there's a story reason for this too. You had a character, I can remember her name, who basically just got screwed over by the Empire, like over and over again. They took her home, they tortured her and everything. And the moment when you see those ships flying in and she's looking at them, you can see the fear in her eyes, like, oh God, what are they going to do? Like, I can't, she can't handle this. She was having nightmares from the person that tortured her. And then in this moment where, not just her,
Bix?
Bix, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in that moment where not just her, but every other character is like, where's Andor? Where's Andor? He wasn't there. And she had to save herself in that moment. That's what I kept seeing on people's breakdowns of it. It's like, this is a great moment. Like, this is a moment where she had to save herself. You can already see, like, this is a moment where she's going to remember and do what Andor said in the beginning, go beyond her fear. And that's the point of it. So, again, it's that excuse out the window. There's a story reason for this. This whole book stuff is just dumb. Absolutely none of the criticisms that he had for that scene just makes no sense. So
I love how, David, it really shows what kind of person you are, that you legitimately I feel like you engage in good faith with like the arguments that people make, and you put way more thought into this than I ever would have considered. I legit just laughed it off and just thought to myself, what a fucking dumbass. Because for one, who's even talking about Vader? Why do you even bring up Darth Vader? He had nothing to do with this scene. And he's like, oh, Vader wouldn't do that. And then he would go on to say he would kill the rapist and then also just kill the girl for fun. That logic doesn't track whatsoever. But then the other thing is this. Oh, wait. Are you saying Darth Vader's your hero or something? And then the thing is, like, him saying the Empire wouldn't stand for that.
I didn't even think about it that way. It's like, yeah, why are you making, like, defenses
for the Empire? If you're such the expert that you are, and you've watched the expanded lore, okay, and let's just talk about the shows. Do we have to sit here and list all the atrocities the Empire has done? I mean, you're talking about a series of episodes in which they literally got together over the weekend and just nonchalantly considered, how can we eliminate the population of a planet? The Empire literally also murders the people within its own ranks. Go back to the Bad Batch and how they threw Rampart under the bus after they got him to eliminate the Kaminoans and bomb the entire city of Topeka. Or Topoka City, I should say. Like, I could sit here, just the movies themselves, have you seen them? Like, why would you say something as, the Empire wouldn't stand for that? I want to reel this back in with a comment that really struck me from 2 years ago. I was covering the Star Wars event for my job out by Winter Haven, California, where they filmed Return of the Jedi for the 40th anniversary of that movie. And I don't know why they brought in an actor that was from that filmed over there, and he had a really good story. I don't know why they open up Q&As, because some of the worst, dumbest people come up and ask questions. And this person was like, so why did the Empire hate the Jedi? I'm going to let that sink in, sit there for a second. Why did the Empire hate the Jedi? Do you watch the movies that you say you love so much? Can you not read a fucking movie? So when I heard Star Wars Theory say that, I'm like, this guy is a nut job.
Yeah,
that has no idea what Star Wars actually is about.
And mind you, if he had just stuck with, I don't think something like this should be in live action Star Wars, you probably wouldn't have gotten that much hate. Some people would have been like, oh, okay, discuss, what is it? And then, but obviously like I said, his defenses made no sense after that. But, he made a video saying, I don't want to cover Andor anymore because no matter what I say,
no matter. He was like, my feelings are hurt. How dare you? I mean, and then he's like, he takes it out on the show. I'm not gonna cover Andor anymore.
Mm. But mind you,
You're the Star Wars guy.
Yeah, and yeah, like I was saying, specifically you saying that the Empire wouldn't tolerate that is what has people making fun of you. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's what people are making fun of you for. Like, if you had just said something like this, something like sexual assault shouldn't be in Star Wars, some people would have agreed with you. Some people would have said, "Yeah, I mean, it was in the books, but whatever."
That's a fine thing to say and all. That's true. But at the same time, it's like I remember the days when there were a lot of people who were calling for more adult R-rated material, quote unquote, for Star Wars, and it just turns out, they just wanted Zack Snyder Justice League shit of violence and gore. That's what they meant. Because when it came to, I mean, go back to Rogue One. When it came to Darth Vader massacring all those rebels, but it was cool, right? Because he had a red lightsaber and he was doing it. That was awesome. It was like, yeah! But when it comes to, like, sexual assault, you're like, I think this is a bridge too far. Oh no! And then also when you consider the response to the other adult themes on this show, oh, you babies, you didn't mean you wanted adult conversations. You just wanted somebody to wave a glowy lightsaber stick and murder somebody deliciously slow so you can make yourself feel like that's adult. So that's where I come from. And that's why the whole thing just means nothing to me, and why he means nothing to me. Because, like, oh, that's where you're coming from? Like, I can't be bothered to engage with any of the arguments. Because, like, there really is nothing. It's like you've discredited yourself from any kind of serious conversation when you said the Empire wouldn't stand for this. Wasn't there a Clone Wars arc where they, like, sold a bunch of people into slavery? Also, didn't Jabba the Hutt have, like, sexual slaves?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
the defenses for it makes no sense. And people just say whatever they want. I don't even know what the point of it is, honestly. Like, I don't know. It's just...
Well, the other discussion topic, David, becomes is, why is this the hill he chooses to die on? Why is this the thing that he's making a big deal about? But, like, it's just a really weird thing to take away from. And again, this is the guy who was like, Luke is back in The Mandalorian. And he was like, boom, boom, and killing all. He was like slobbering, crying with tears. Oh, Luke is back. It's my Luke. It's my Luke. But when it comes to The Last Jedi, you killed Luke Skywalker. How dare you? I don't like him. And I was very happy to see him being pilloried for kind of being the dumbass that he is. So that's right. It was just, it's too dumb to make up to. It's like the Empire wouldn't stand for this. Okay. Okay, let's see where that gets you. So that's where the conversation has been. But generally, the episodes have been great. They've been received wonderfully, and I'm really interested to see where we're going to be. So if there's anything else, should we go ahead and begin? Or if you want to just say something else on that.
Maybe I'll bring it up during the episodes. We have a long video.
We have a lot to do today, and I'm afraid about what time we're going to be getting off here. Anyway, let me make sure my things are on the right way that they should be. Okay.
The restraints are nothing to be feared. It's much safer for you to be tethered as we engage.
Which, by the way, whoever that actor is, they cast him perfectly. Like, he looks demented. That smile he gives, it's just like, I'm gonna torture you, is like, Like that's one of the things like I feel like I noticed a lot more when I rewatched season 1. It's like the casting on this show is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
From the big time actors to the smaller ones. Everyone here is just like giving it their all.
There are no small jobs here at the Bureau of Standards. You may hear that and wonder how it can be true.
So just to look at where do we think we're going here today? Like, I'm not really sure what to expect.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this recap is mainly just these two, so I'm assuming it's going to be a big episode for them.
Imperial. Well, there's a little bit of Bix here. The way that Cassian came back and tore shit up was pretty, like, great. Do we have mixed feelings about them killing off Brasso?
I don't.
Or are we?
Honestly, that's probably my only complaint in these 3 episodes. It's like I was really confused for a second. Like, wait, did he die or not? Because he just.
We didn't see it happen.
Yeah, we didn't see it happen, and it's just kind of like he's holding him, but I thought maybe he's gonna wake up in a second or something. But it wasn't until he's there, like, oh wait, what about him? He's like, no, and they leave. I'm like, okay, so he did die, I guess.
God, Diego Luna
He's so
is doing
good.
an amazing job with this role.
But yeah, I think that's really my only complaint about those 3 episodes is I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he is dead, and then end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't have any complaints about it. It is still sad. It's just I wish I could have been more sad about it.
And we had a question, like, were they doing like these really hard intros in season 1? They were.
Oh, okay.
They were, yeah. Every episode had its own unique, like, musical orchestration. And, like, as it was, like, panning in onto the Andor logo. Which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love how they're not, like, having the same music intro every single episode.
Mm-hmm. It was so funny for me to edit that because I did it with S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's, like, previously on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to, like, transition to our movement of the camera. And I'm like, I gotta pick a different one every single time now. It was funny.
Ooh.
Also, I didn't know BBY like 4 and then this one's 3. I don't know. That was like countdown to, I guess.
To A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed other people have mentioned this, but one of the things that the show should absolutely get credit for is and part of what makes it feel so real and full of life is its commitment to have a lot of analog technology, have a lot of buttons, a lot of boards, things that can actually hold that are tangible. I think with the 2000s, especially with the prequels, the technology just became so, I don't know, blasé, where it didn't necessarily feel lived in. Whereas here in Andor, it very much does. And I think it also just fits canonically with like where we are with I'm sure the Empire was suppressing technology, and it also helps in making it feel closer to the tech that you would see in the original films.
In your faces, so you tried. He knows that. Wherever he is.
Bix is really having a hard time, isn't she? But one thing that I've noticed is like she's been like roughed up the most, I think, of anyone on the show. Like she continues to get the shit beat out of her in different ways. I mean, she goes from being like psychologically tormented by this guy to almost being sexually assaulted. It's like, Jesus.
Like I said, there's a story reason for it. It's like, building. Oh shit.
Oh, she was sleepwalking. She was legit sleepwalking. I thought she was just like in her head.
No, yeah, same. But yeah, like I said, it's like they're building up for her to have that moment of what Andor said in the first episode. It's like you've grown beyond your fear, and that's kind of what she has to go through.
And towels.
Yeah.
If we're gonna keep coming back, we might as well settle it.
Where are they living? That's not Coruscant, is it?
I want to say it's that.
Yeah, it is. Wow. that Gorman?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. Let's see what work they've done here.
Mm. Oh, are
So
they
who
living
is
there?
that? So what? Cyril and Deidre are now living in Gorman?
I would think so.
Interesting. Cause that's her project now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, who's the person who's in charge of the production design on this show? Because these sets are so good, and they hardly ever look alike, honestly.
Yeah.
As well as the costume work. Jeez.
No, for real. Like every other show, Ahsoka, what was the other one? Acolyte. Oof. It's always just like one specific place, and it looks run down.
It's called The Volume.
But it's also like run down and all that. Like it's just people kind of like living off of whatever they have and all that. And then you also have, remember in Ahsoka that like, I don't know, the planet where Ezra was living on just didn't look nice at all. But this one, yeah, it's all different. It looks very much lived in. Like I feel like I can almost see beyond whatever they just make, and at least think about beyond whatever they just made.
You won't be visiting.
They won't get another credit of mine. I'm not buying Gorman again. I'm sick of it. They were always too good for the rest of us.
You are watching too much Imperial news.
My opinion.
See that right there? They were always too good for us. Watching too much Imperial news? Oh, I think he meant Fox News, but
Don't become too much of an individual, Cyril.
I have spiders to count.
Same time next week.
Okay. Also hilarious. They kept up with that, just talking to her. And then some people were theorizing because Deirdre, is that her name?
yes.
Her plan was basically get some rebels to kind of like go overboard in their
Yes.
fight and all that. And some people were theorizing that Cyril was going to be the one to like sort of lead that. Awesome idea to use the mom to like just say whatever she wants, and Cyril can like sneak into the rebels. That is awesome. Also kind of funny that when Cyril leaves Coruscant, that's when Andor shows up, because technically they're like
Right?
enemies. That's funny.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the other one.
I meant the good one. This is the good one.
We need to mix it up.
We haven't been here for a month.
I think Cassian needs that nano mask from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mhm.
Because, like, how would you walk around? Like, they know what you look like, you know?
Mhm.
That's
Anything else today?
No. We're good.
Chill.
I'd give that look, too. It's like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
What do you want? You're right.
You're not a tourist. Perhaps you wish to know more about where you live. There's a candy inside, with information on the wrapper.
I wouldn't take it.
Mhm.
I just don't like those spiders like that.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to say earlier about the Cyril's mom and like would it make you feel better that they're taking loyalty pledge to the Empire? And she was like, I feel safer already. We're currently living in a government that demanded loyalty pledges for the new appointees that are currently running the system. So just put it out there. There are moments where it's eerily kind of like what we're living through. So those things are nasty. Why? I don't like.
We're safe here. I know it's not what we want, but the insanity of the city keeps us safe.
This is probably also, you can already see like
Just trying to protect us.
You mean me?
this downtime is seemingly more psychologically tormenting than when they're on the run or doing a mission for both of these two, because these traumas are coming back, but then also they're, at least with Bix, it's like, well, I want to explore a relationship with you, and it's kind of choking that we can't do a whole list of things. When you think about the other couple on the show, Val and Cinta, they never even allow themselves to get this close because they're always working.
Mhm.
And I think, you see, she just said, I love you.
Together, but I'm trying not to count on anything anymore.
And this is great for her to say, but it's complicating things because this is not the time for that.
You didn't kill that boy because we're at war. You killed him because he saw my face.
What's the difference?
I like that it's just talking about a certain mission. It doesn't really matter whether we see it or not. It's like it's all going to be the same, you know. They're in danger. They have to be aware of their surroundings and all that, and they got to do what they got to do to survive. And we're just listening to the ones that just happened recently. But I don't know. I really like that.
I agree with you.
Pod racing.
Was that what? Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
That is pod racing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's been transferred. Everything's pissing her off.
I won't ask.
But you, thank you. He was going to chew his way through Legret and eat me for fun.
It truly is astounding. How many players there are? I keep forgetting. Oh, yeah. We haven't even gotten to Mon Mothma yet.
Yeah.
I can't support the bill because I can't risk chafing the Emperor. But why I'm in this position, and why it seems to be intensifying, and why Gorman is being persecuted so intently are questions no one seems prepared to answer.
But you sure were ready to applaud for when some wacko said, we're not going to transform into the Empire. Yay! Didn't you see this being an issue? Of course, they're politicians. They're pretty stupid, aren't they?
All doubts aside, there is one glaring certainty. If we do not stand together, we...
It just feel like Mon is the only person with a brain in the whole building.
We import almost everything we need to survive. The blockade didn't have to go very long to remind us how vulnerable we are.
Does he?
If it could happen to you, it can happen to you again or anybody else. Really curious to see more of Lonnie here. We didn't get too much of him in the first season, but...
Oh, Jesus.
I know. That must get annoying. It's like part of the ride. Sometimes this show just feels a little bit too real. Like, this could be the news right now.
I'm not sure why the Empire would build an armory in the middle of Palmer, but I'm running out of answers.
Well, they're trying to kill you. I mean, that's one answer, right? Like, why did the propaganda come out of nowhere? Oh, in the last year, people are wondering the same thing. It's like, what's with all this obsession with Gorman? It's because they're trying to kill you.
You can imagine how upset we would be to find out there's an Imperial military facility rising over the monument to the fallen.
But the Empire wouldn't stand for rape. 16 years ago, which, by the way, like, that's like, you see how quickly the Empire was like full-on fascist, just killing people? Like 16 years ago? The Tarkin massacre?
Maybe we can do some good together.
And that was early on. I mean, Tarkin never lost his position. He only got fired after he died on the Death Star. Like, are you... Yeah, the Imperial Senate was just not it, man. Not that the Republic Senate was that much better, but they wouldn't just let atrocities like these just happen all the time.
Hey, you okay?
Yeah. Couldn't sleep.
This is a really extraordinary episode. Just want to put that out there because we're really given the opportunity to just like take a breath and really live in these spaces. And I think Andor really already is a show like that. But with this episode, it does feel the need to go that extra mile, right? And I'm really enjoying everything that's going on. But it also makes me sad because I'm like, we could have more episodes, right? Like, if they're this good.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a cramp in my leg.
Oh, I thought it was your back. I was like, okay. Takar. Where's that? Oh, Saw Gerrera. Is this the planet where they have the final rebel base in The Rise of Skywalker? Because in Dakar? I mean, it's another jungle planet, so that's why I'm already like making the connection there. Oh, they threw him to Saw? That boy? What? Of all the people?
I mean, I can believe that he's like, nah, I want to fight, so.
Look at you. Look at all your...
Oh my god.
Is she healthy?
Yes.
I forgot the way that he talks sometimes.
What's more dangerous than Rhydonium? Not many old pipe poachers out there. Not many who've lived to tell the tale.
Rhydonium. That's like the most powerful explosion.
We should concentrate on the station you're planning to hit.
You teach them all. You know where we're going when I tell you.
But I need to leave tomorrow.
Really? Is that what you need?
There was an agreement.
Okay, so he was thrown in there to help out, I guess. Dang.
Oh, God. Yeah, Saw is just... Yeah, you can never really, like, trust him. The one thing you can trust is that he'll do what he wants. That's kind of how he is. Are you okay?
Yeah, it was just really bad.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really bad timing.
I know, huh?
Some of my favorite moments on this show is just when the camera is just like panning over and showing off these sets. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's just like, oh, I could live here just for like a day, you know?
I gotta be honest. I think this might be like my favorite episode. Like,
it's really good.
It's just we got so much detail about how all of the Empire is working.
All of the characters, yeah.
How, no.
What is that?
I'm assuming drugs.
Well, shit.
Fuck.
Go ahead, you were saying?
No, yeah, like I said, it's just we got so much detail about how the Empire is working, how basically just any rebellion is just starting up and all that. And I don't know, I really liked everything about it. We didn't talk much. Well, I feel like we talked a lot in the beginning, but towards as it kept going though, we kept talking less and less because we were just so into wanting to know every single detail about what each character is doing. The ones that we've seen and the new ones that just came out. And yeah, I
just wanted to shout out, this is written by Beau Willimon, who was the showrunner for House of Cards.
Oh.
And Beau, by the way, also wrote some episodes from last season, most famously the Prison Break episode. So, like, yeah. Guy's great.
Yeah.
Great talent.
That's awesome.
So, what were some of your favorite moments? I mean, as far as like, what would you say would make this your favorite episode?
It's just
not that I mean to put you on the spot because I kind of feel the same way too because it just like there were so many moments where I forgot. Oh right, we're in the Star Wars universe. I was just so like swept up in it, and I'm like, oh, that's right, we're in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. No, I for sure felt that with the Gormans having that little meeting.
The Gormans, oh yeah,
because you mentioned it's like, man, you forget. It's like this is getting really real here, and I'm like, yeah, this feels pretty real. People just talking about like, hey, there's something going on here, and no one wants to talk about it.
And they're yelling at elected officials for not doing anything. And it's like, what do you mean? Which is exactly what has been happening all over the country that we live in. I mean, it is a, I don't know, too real, right? Like, even the fact that Cyril's mom basically being used in that way here, and also like her completely buying into these narratives because she watches basically a Trump news. And it's the same thing of what's happening in the world right now, where it's just like the current people who are in power of this country are just making up narratives And it's getting into a place of just complete, like, it was already absurd. But just this week, the president was yelling at a reporter for, like, what do you mean the guy deported was not MS-13? Didn't you see the tattoos on his hands? It's been verified it was a photoshopped image.
Oh my God.
He thought it was real. Or he's just, like, refusing to relent on the lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just inventing narrative after narrative. And yeah, it's just, it's so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming, and it's so real to where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and again, like, this shit was, like, written years before these days that we're living in right now. And yet, it feels like maybe this was written this week or something compared to, like, considering, like, what's happening on this show. But, I mean, when you take a step back on it, we had, like, a for the most part, except for I didn't see Val or Cinta. But aside from them, like, we had a almost perfect roll call here of the main characters on this show. I mean, that last, we didn't say anything because, I mean, it's just one of those scenes where you don't want to talk over, like with many on the show, but just that tender moment of, you know, Cass and Bix with the hands and everything. And I think just the complete understanding of, you know, what needed to be done. And I think that was the implication that Cass is on his way to Gorman. Interesting situation there, but I just love the idea of them, like, taking a moment to just, like, oh my God, this is what our lives are like. This shit's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so few shows really take the time to do that. So, yeah, I feel like, again, Andor is literally everything that every Disney Plus show is missing. I mean that, like, to the letter. Like, everything is just, even, like, we didn't know, because I think this is them telling us, but what's going on in the ISB, they all think that, you know, Deirdre was, like, put out to pasture and that her career is over, when in reality, like, she's working on this top secret Gorman situation. Luthen just found out because Lonnie just found out. And Lonnie seems to be, like, because he basically, like, asked that guy out to lunch. So it's like he's trying to make some moves here and, like, to get some more information. And I'm happy to see more of Lonnie and some of the inner workings in the ISB. And then, of course, Cyril is just like, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. Like, he does not care. Like, that guy. Like, he is like,
no.
You need me to be your doormat? I'll be your doormat.
Basically, Deirdre,
like,
is just using him, honestly. Like, it's honestly really questionable. Like, do you actually like him? Or is just, you know, you got a lapdog here and who's willing to do anything?
Well, who says it's one thing? Maybe it can be multiple things.
Yeah, it's true.
I think the assumption is that she was just grateful in however way she interprets that meaning of that word, but she was saved from being murdered because of him, so there's that. But then also, she's never one to miss an opportunity to use somebody.
Very
so
true.
There's that. It does make me really curious, like, what it would look like if there were other seasons of this show, and, like, I think it may lose some things, because then, like, there are characters who I would think of, like, what would it look like if they cameoed here, or they had, like, Tarkin or Thrawn. I really wish they would make a Thrawn show, but if Tony Gilroy was writing it, that would be it. I was like, I'm in my mind pitching, they should have Tony Gilroy do, or a Mon Mothma show at the time that they, you know, take power. Or whatever Filoni was planning on doing now that Thrawn's back, use that. Don't. Oh God.
I think I would feel like Tony Gilroy is probably like done with this kind of story once he's done with this, and who knows what he's going to do after. But I mean, I doubt it's going to be like another Star Wars thing. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I hope it's something just completely different, because I'll watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
And
go ahead.
I'm just so curious what people are going to say about this episode, because in the last three, there were some videos of people going like the sexual assault scene is like taking over the conversation of what we should be talking about, which is the whole like immigration storyline. But they're not like complimenting it. They want to complain about it. The whole go woke shit. And so I'm just very curious what the heck they're gonna say. And mind you, every time they bring that up, going like, "Hey, they did like an immigration storyline," they never actually say why they don't like it or like why it should be talked about. It's just, hey, we should talk about this.
They don't have to, though. I feel like if you can read between the lines, they don't have to say it. In their heads, it's obvious why it's a problem. How dare this Hollywood show make us feel any kind of empathy toward the people who are ruining our lives and should absolutely be kicked out of the country? All the while, of course, they love Star Wars. And Star Wars is a very anti-fascist show. It always has been. The Empire are literally Nazis. But they wouldn't stand for rape.
Yeah.
So it's like, even those people that were dunking on Star Wars theory, they shouldn't necessarily be praised if they're going to be like, well, immigration's a problem. How dare I talk about immigrant?
Yeah, but that's also the other thing.
Don't want to unravel here. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's the other thing too. Is just they want to talk about it because it's like they're talking about like, oh, they're bringing up the whole Trump's presidency and all that. It's like they want to make a comment about that. But
again, this was written before Trump was even in power, so that's you can't
even say that. It has nothing to do with. He just happened to fucking. He pulled the Simpsons.
More sense if Trump is watching this show and he's like, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
Tell your girl just pulled the Simpsons. It's like, oh, he predicted it.
Like to the letter.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, yeah, that's why I'm very curious what they're going to say. It's because, like, you can't just say it's like, oh, so the whole Trump presidency message, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, yeah, this was finished and written, or at the very least thought about way before he became president again. So can't really say that that's what this is what it's doing. He just happened to nail it. He just knows how bad people work.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Let's go ahead and let the recap play while we're having some more comments over on this. So let's go ahead and press episode 5.
Runoff 748.
It's just... But seriously, David, it's like, how do these people, like, reconcile themselves to, like, Star? Like, what? Like, these people are, like... Do they know? Do they get that the Empire's... They're supposed to be the bad people, and yet, in real life, they vote for candidates that are like that? That's just always how they are. I didn't even realize this myself, but I was hearing Mark Kermode give a evaluative analysis of Revenge of the Sith, and he was saying that how 20 years ago when it was a new movie, a lot of Republicans and conservatives were complaining about Revenge of the Sith because it was too liberal, saying that it was like, how dare they attack George W. Bush like that? Always the same. The original arbiters of cancel culture. It's like, what is more cancel culture than kicking somebody out of the country because you don't like them? But they make us say pronouns.
And then also too, one of the things the people keep complaining about when it comes to villains is how they're just straight up evil. And what I mean by that, it's like if someone looks at them wrong, they'll just kill them automatically. And it's like they don't like that. They rather have someone like more calm, more just kind of like actually think through their next actions, whether it is to kill someone or not. You know, they were praising the scene in A New Hope when I think it was A New Hope, where Darth Vader kind of chokes out this one dude, and it was because he basically like failed, that, in his job and all. It's like that makes more sense rather than what Kylo would do, where he like something bad would go wrong and he just like starts smashing stuff and everything like that.
But they were offended because that's exactly what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They were offended because fascists are crying, whiny little babies like that lash out over why isn't everything going my way?
No, yeah.
They're upset because that's a projection of who they are, and they would rather be hailed as people. That threw me off.
Yeah.
Hailed as as people who are like menacing and villainous, when in reality they're all a bunch of Nick Fuenteses that are just pussies. That's what it is, David.
Yeah. No, but then like we finally have these villains who are just, calm, collected, think things through, and they're kind of like, oh, this is kind of boring. It's like, what the fuck do you want then?
Right off 7-4.
Also, that was a very different title sequence. That was cool.
Oh yeah. Again, this is what I mean. She's working that board like she's a DJ or something.
Just wanted to let you know I'm coming home this weekend.
What a pleasant surprise.
Just worried if I don't come now, it might be a while.
Are you kidding me? At this point, I just want them to face off. Like, what's gonna happen, man?
Everybody out. Calling headquarters! Yeah, good luck with that.
This seems pretty stupid. Do they not know? Or was this staged?
What do you mean?
Does the ISB not know Cyril is there? Well, I guess they don't, huh?
Oh, no, I doubt it.
Yeah.
It could be staged, but also I could believe they're just like trying to. Oh yeah, because I think that knowledge of what they're doing in Gorman is very, very limited. So I don't think he probably knows.
Everything vetted once and for all.
Everything?
Everything!
We have the exhibition.
All of it!
Scald.
I want it inspected and recertified.
Sounds like a problem.
Mm-hmm. I love that you can just figure out, okay, we know what's going to happen now, just from very little information.
Many of us believe the Emperor has no idea what's being done on his behalf. We think the ISB is running a shadow government.
Well,
This old place. Not many safe houses have a view.
this is pretty nice for a safe house.
We're fine, nobody's watching. Oh, man of taste. Best spider on the plaza.
More spiders. There's that. Cassian?
Yeah. I was actually wondering in the trailer, because in the trailer he had that look, slick back hair and all that, kind of look fancy and all that. And I was wondering, like, how the heck is he going to end up like that? Like, does he hang out with Mom Mothma or something? Or
Checking in?
Right there.
Marion Sky.
People wouldn't clear and he wanted to land. And more of us kept coming. We thought there was safety in numbers. Who would land a cruise on a crowd full of unarmed citizens?
Tarkin would not hesitate.
He was killed, saving me.
Tarkin is a bitch. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna wait for you. If you're not gonna move.
Again, how they just go in the opposite way. How?
It happens all the time. How did General Grievous and Anakin Skywalker not meet in the entire Clone Wars until Revenge of the Sith?
That's true.
It's just...
Jeez. That's so awkward.
Turn out the lights.
Can't believe you had me followed.
turn out the lights.
I have no words.
I mean,
I'm
I mean, it's an interesting comparison with these two versus what Andor and Bix have. You know, it's like somehow with Bix and Andor, like they're fighting to like want to stay together and all that. They're fighting to have like some kind of peace together. But then with the other two, what is there? What?
Fusine les gens, libre. This cafe used to be.
Oh, wait a minute. Cassian really is a great spy.
Yeah.
People fought for tables.
He must have taken classes from Luthen. He's like really like.
I mean,
playing the part.
I mean, it's just somehow gifted for it. Like I mentioned last episode or like last reaction. Like he just has a way of figuring out people, and not just people, but communities and all that. I mean, the way he instantly talked to that one guy, you know, is it for information or was he just genuinely curious and trying to be nice to that person towards the end or something? But he just knows how to work.
I'll send word in the morning.
Thanks for stopping by. Hey, the people you have following me, they're just drawing attention. Send them home.
Fucking A. Can you believe some people thought his acting was kind of boring? Like, some people complained about
what
it.
was kind of boring?
His acting. Like, he wasn't doing much, but what the hell?
Excellent work, Zero.
Thank you, sir.
We'll keep you briefed.
I say this is the greatest day of my life. Does it spoil everything?
It's good to see you happy.
Again, I just don't know what to say. I'm not even sure if the words are even there.
The last 3 episodes, I was like, hey, they could be a cool couple, you know? They're, you know, supporting each other. And now this one, I'm just like, do I want to see more? I don't know. But that was really funny, though. She was like so close to saying, like, yes, you're being ridiculous. But now she's like, no, I should be the supportive girlfriend here. Glad you're happy.
So we can lose the boy.
What?
He's seen too much.
Nah.
If you're ready, then I'll get rid of him.
And if I don't show up back home...
Traitor!
Was that?
Show them!
Is he being serious?
I don't know. I feel like he planted that or something.
It's almost like the minute that guy told him I can't do it on my own, he just became useless to Saw.
Yeah.
Not much of a revolutionary, are you?
Jeez.
Perhaps not.
It does seem like these guys are hell-bent on just striking no matter what. And they're exactly what Deidre needs to get things rolling for the project. And yeah, Cassian's just like, these guys are gonna die.
Yeah.
It's gonna get so much worse.
Where are you, boy? You're here! You're not with Luthen, you're here! You're right here, and you're ready to fight! Let it run wild!
Forrest Whitaker is incredible as his character, and that was an incredible, I don't know what you want to call that. That was the single most deranged yet inspirational thing I've heard.
Right?
Like, you know, I'm like, can we just stop and acknowledge what was that? Like breathing in Rhydonium and then passing it on to this boy as something like a rite of passage should now let the freedom call. And but I mean, he's honest. Yes, I'm crazy.
That was. Oh man, I don't know what to say. Honestly, I just kind of speechless and all that what they were doing. I mean, we were left speechless with all Cyril and
Deirdre, all those
scenes
moments
and all that. But dang,
but this took the cake. This was like, I mean, what do you add to that?
I know. I can see why people follow him, I guess. Not that I would, but not or anything like that. But it's like, oh, okay. He knows how to hype people up and everything. So.
Yeah, he needed to have that charisma because sometimes he just comes across as a bit overly loony.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Jin. You know, yeah, but yeah, and I guess like that comparison of like Rhydonium, or at least the smell of it, reminds me of his sister.
Yeah,
it's Saw is so disturbed.
Yeah, I know. He's just.
I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, dude, this episode is just kind of like is leaving me speechless. Just like everything that they're showing, everything that they're leading up to. Like I'm actually like worried. Like, okay, are they gonna meet? Or is Andor and Cyril gonna meet or something? Or are the what's the plant's name? The spiders.
Gorman.
Are the Gormans or Gorman people like gonna retaliate, go crazy or something? Who's the one who's gonna go crazy? Is it Saul? Is it the Gormans? Is it gonna be Cyril or something like that? I just don't know. This is amazing parallels going on here. You know, with the whole that one dude talking to Andor, going like, "You're not really much of a like revolutionary like leader or something like that," and then you freaking see Saul, and it's like, yeah, he knows how to freaking lead people, like how to pump them up and all that. But is it the right way? But is what Andor doing the right thing too? Because yeah, he should want to inspire these people to fight back, but like, there's not much they can do, sadly. You know, anything that they do, it's just gonna get the Empire to be more aggressive, and yeah, like. It's like it's a sad question. Like, what can you do? You know,
I just wish I could go back and look, see the look on our faces hearing that. Because I mean, I don't know what to say, but like that was truly incredible moment in an episode just filled of like, oh man. Back-to-back bangers. What can we say? That I'm really glad that they've made the choice to actually drop at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but like I definitely am happy that they're not doing one and one and one, even though it's complete, but it's still like, you know. Yeah, last week's 3 felt like a whole arc, really.
Mm-hmm. And same thing for this one. The episodes just fly by. Like
oh my god, we just did 2.
Mm-hmm.
We just did 2, and they're just so riveting.
Yeah.
It is just so good, guys. I mean, it may get to a point where it's just so redundant of just saying the same thing over and over again, but they're really, I mean, everything that this show is doing is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was easier to talk about a show that was just crapping the bed the whole time. Anyway.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that talk about the complete opposite, because that show literally did everything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Where we had like off the bat like a million different like ways that could have made this better.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here it's like, well, this is so good. I'm just left speechless. I just don't know what to.
Notice too, like there's not much. There wasn't much action going on in these 2 episodes. Like it's all just talk and talk, you know, and it's good dialogue and everything and all that. But the first 3 episodes, I mean, not besides the 3rd episode, but the first 2. No, yeah, there was a lot of action. Yeah, I'm starting to remember now. It's like, yeah, the beginning of the first episode was the flight scene. And
that was a big set piece. Yeah,
yeah. And then these 2, there's no action, but I don't care. I mean, we didn't need that. We did not need that so much with Ahsoka. I skip it, and this is my biggest complaint with the Anakin episode. It was like not even 5 minutes in, and already Ahsoka and Anakin are fighting. And I was just like, why? Why are we doing this? This whole episode needs to be a conversation with the two of them. And I don't even think there should be a fighting sequence between them, even if it was like a flashback.
Because it looks cool,
I guess. And like, hey, like I love seeing what was his name,
Hayden, yeah,
fighting. You notice the difference between those two and who's the better fighter and all that. You didn't need it with those two characters, and this show is just proving like, yeah, you don't need a big action set piece to grab people's attention. I'm sure there's gonna be some people complaining like that it was a bit of a slog, but I highly disagree if they do.
Yeah. Losers.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and go to the third one, or you need a water break?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. I just saw, I'm sorry. I was just scrolling through some of the reactions. If Saw gave me that speech, I'd take my mask off too. We're the Rhino, kid. We're the fuel. We're the thing that explodes and there's so much friction in the air. Are you kidding me? Bix is really going through it.
I know.
She needs to find something to do here, because this is giving Demi Moore in the substance. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a part in the movie where she's just like at home the whole time and she's like unraveling mentally.
That's the other thing too. It's like I just mentioned, like who's gonna like go crazy here? Saul, the Gormans, and I didn't even think about Bix. Like,
yeah.
What the heck is going to happen to her? And it sucks because I'm pulling for her, you know? I keep saying, she has to go beyond her fear, but...
We have a source inside. An Imperial source.
He should have stuck around long enough to see that, and then it would have messed up the whole plan.
Mm-hmm.
They should have shown him a picture of who it was.
Yeah. Even if he asked, though, I don't think they would have shown him, because it's like, you're not showing me your source, I'm not going to show you mine or something.
You keep pretending it's all under control.
We have to take it out at the party.
And these two, too. Who's going to go crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. There's so much set up here, and I really don't know where it's going to go.
Again, just so many different locations.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is Cassian's ride back.
Gorman in play. A new front line against the Empire? A chance for that's a triumph. You're thinking small, you're thinking like a thief.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
If it goes up in flames,
it will burn. Very brightly.
That's the point. That's the point. Because ultimately, if you look at it from Luthen's standpoint, the planet's going to burn regardless, right? They're going to completely strip that planet of resources and kill those people. So might as well use that to their advantage, right? To make it backfire on the Empire, because what there's no stopping what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody there? Cassian?
Ooh, probably.
This fury, this lack of control, violating every protocol we live by. Soft on Gorman, but willing to protect Bix at any cost.
We are not droids, Luthen.
We are not who we were when we started.
Oh boy.
Is Cyril still there?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm counting on you to keep watch on these idiots.
An honor, sir.
Really? It's an assignment. Calibrate your enthusiasm.
Okay. He's so disgusted. It's so funny.
I was told they don't know what they're doing.
That's why we're not doing much. It's fast, it's simple. You've brought the fuses.
More than enough.
Okay. That scene, first of all, I like that one shot where they were behind the window. It was like a yin-yang kind of symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Simple. Cool. Also, I'm very worried about the Gormans and their whole plan and everything, but I actually feel comfortable with those two in it. 'Cause I'm like, they'll get it done.
Yeah.
Time's up. We leave with what we have. We don't get greedy.
We need all the weapons we can get.
Is Cyril there?
That's what I'm wondering too. I don't think so.
Don't talk. Don't think. Do as you are told. If you can't manage that, you don't belong here.
I don't think he is. Because that would be very bad. If Cyril were there, I mean, she is the cousin of a senator.
Mm-hmm.
The senator that's being spied on. That would be bad. Stay tuned later on this week for Star Wars Theory to Bitch About. Why are drugs in Star Wars? The Empire wouldn't stand for that.
It's flashing.
I don't even feel I'm exaggerating, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that might actually happen.
Whatever the mission is, I'm coming.
Do
you hear me?
Can you move right now?
Yeah. Does he even know? I feel like he might know. Or like have an idea, right? I mean,
you would think.
Have we seen that council in any of the other shows?
We've seen this here last season.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. Oh, yeah, I remember. It was like her first scene, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever. Well, yeah, one of them. God, every costume.
Mm-hmm. Every music that plays
Yeah.
in this show, it's just so different from everything else.
Organa!
Perrin, Bale, how are you? I'm
Oh.
free. That was my last investiture party of the season.
Again, I like that actor, but I want the other one.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is getting tense. This is getting tense.
What are we drinking?
Cali coolers, and they're amazing. This is my third one.
Ugh, that dude's he's gonna mess up, and
Which one? The small one?
the one that's drinking a lot, he's gonna screw
Yeah,
up
yeah.
something, or just give information to him, and they're gonna have the advantage.
The Miracle Man, who helped secure this very special piece, is actually here with us tonight. Director Krennic, Luthen Rail.
What a pleasure.
How kind you are.
This is suicide.
It's my favorite object in the collection. I was heartbroken when we sold it. Luthen will tell them that's why I'm so keen on visiting with it.
Play along, dude. Come on.
Really? And
Pull it
and when I
together.
just walked in, nobody noticed them.
Yeah.
The TUNEIN Codex was forged 2,000 years ago on a planet where sight was considered a disability.
This is do or die, Lonnie, so move to your left and listen closely because we may be tested.
Oh my god.
There's a bit of a theme inside of the gallery. There's a Carminian helmet.
Oh my god.
It's stuck.
Oh my
Just leave it.
god, this is so stressful.
Oh wow. Come on.
Mon Balor 5.
Mon traîneau Fréchec.
Of course he has one.
You should have killed Krennic while we were up there.
That's the spirit.
I mean, you have no idea why you should have.
Does Luthen not have any idea about the Death Star yet?
No one does. Really, no one does. And I actually heard before, for like the longest time, people did not know who Darth Vader was. Like, that was a very well kept secret. So I can believe that. No one knows about the Death Star. No, I'll take the cake.
I would.
Right? She did on her own, or was that part of Luthen's?
It seemed to be her own thing.
Nobody's allowed in here.
Yeah, she's doing her own shit. Like, this is not stealth. I mean, you go, girl. But, oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. That was both of them. Oh, shit. That must have been Luthen, right? I feel like he probably would have told him, like, hey, that dude, he's here. You want to go after him? I hope that was because of him. Because he did, like, summon them.
I don't know.
I think that was...
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, it is. Okay. It is because I don't think there's any way they would have known that he was here. And then, yeah, Luthen's like informant in the where Didra is working at. He knew about that, right? He knew about like the torture guy, like having his own section or unit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would think
did Mon know that Clea was needing time? Is that's why she was like debating Krennic, or she was just doing it because she hates him?
Wait, what?
Did Mon Mothma, you know how she was debating Krennic because he needed to... Was she doing that? Did she know that Clea needed time to get the communicator out of the piece, or is she just doing it because she just hates him?
She just hates him.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think she knew about what they were doing or what she was doing there. So, yeah, she was just doing it because she wanted to piss him off and be like, "Hey, dumbass, you know, let's talk about your politics here real quick."
Mm-hmm.
Which I wish that was a little bit like a more important thing, just because like it's Mon Mothma and Krennic. I mean, come on, that's freaking badass. But I don't mind the other two. We're still just as like intense and everything, so I don't mind that. But yeah, again though, these 3 episodes, very little action. Like really, it was just that one blaster shot and that explosion, and that's about it. And that explosion was like the most badass thing in I think in these 6 episodes. I mean, I know that flying part in the beginning was awesome and all that, but I don't know, just the idea of Bix and Andor like working together to stop this torturer, especially the one that tortured Bix and everything. That was badass. Mm-hmm. That's power couple right there. Forget Cyril and Deirdre. Damn, that was awesome. And it's awesome way to like end it off, because we were both like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen to Bix? Like she's losing it. Like, is she gonna go crazy and all that? Like, what the heck? And yeah, they just ended off. It's like, yeah, we had to. What was it they kept saying here? Well rested or something like that. And it's like basically they needed her full strength. And it's like, yeah, I'm at full strength now. I got the guy. Let's go. So hopefully in the next 3 episodes, she just comes out as like a badass, you know? So
what did you make of the way that they killed off Senta?
The torturer? Okay.
No, that's not him, the girlfriend.
Oh, okay. I feel like the character was a little bit wasted. I feel like we probably could have some more. But I get it too, because it's like the heist episodes in the first season, you know, where you had that one kid who just died because of some stupid accident, you know, and it's just like that's how the war goes. It's like it's always these stupid accidents, always unnecessary accidents that happen, and you lose good people from it. So I understand it from that point, but I feel like we could have a little bit more from. Honestly, if the cousin might have died, that would have been a little bit more impactful. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded that. Then it would have been, the girlfriend that gets to go on, and maybe part of her wanted to protect Mon Mothma afterwards.
I'm sorry, looking at this tweet.
Yeah.
Luthen, you shouldn't be taking those sleeping drugs. They're bad for you. He says to Bix. And then it cuts to Saw. Huff the gas fumes, my boy. I'm sorry, but Saw was like so unhinged. He always is, but this was just a different situation altogether. I mean, can we just like compliment the performances all around? I mean, we always do, but if anything, it is so hard to not just write good story or good plotting, or to tie everything in that you're seeing on the picture, like thematically. It is, and I think we've seen it also happen in Star Wars. Hint, hint. But it is very hard to write really good dialogue. But you wouldn't know it by watching this show, would you? Because they just make it look so easy. I mean, really, really easy. Everything that every character says just like makes it feel so real. And it's so, I'm sorry, it's beat for beat perfection. I'm just like, this is one of those shows, and notice me, like, we're hardly ever talking over it because, like, we don't want to. There's so much being conveyed, throughout all of this. Like, you're just like, oh no, I can't talk over this. This is so good. So there's that. I guess it's successful from both the standpoint of the rebels and the Empire about what's happening on Gorman. They're both moving toward what it is that they want. I do wonder, though, again, I think every week we're just going to be left in suspense. It's like, oof. Can I have another one?
Yeah.
I want to see where this goes, because it feels like these were great episodes, but it also just feels like, can we get one more?
Yeah. What exactly is like the end game for Cyril? Because like I actually kind of found it surprising that they even made that plan successful. Is it just keep making them build up, and so that they can just automatically tear them down or something? Or
so the idea is for them to do a couple of these attacks, and the whole point is to push them into doing something that is going to be so bad that the people of the Empire at large are not going to give two shits when they go in there and take over the place, kill everybody. That's what they want, a justification to go in there and murder, is what it is. And it's not going to be a small one like this. It needs to be a big, big thing that happens. And so they're basically just kind of like encouraging them to do acts of what they would consider to be, terrorist acts. That's what all of this is moving toward.
Okay.
Every time Tony Gilroy makes me cry during Andor, and it's a gif of Jesse Pinkman. He can't keep getting away with this, and yeah.
That's good.
There's an interesting one here. Tony Gilroy on that scene, the sexual assault scene from last week. I'm not even, and this is somebody who's going to share a quote, but this is what he says. I'm not even going to touch that. Darth Vader wouldn't stand for this behavior nonsense floating around on here. Andor is pulling from the realities of war, revolution, and fascism and tyranny. And like it or not, this is dark, sad, but a real part of it. This is what Tony Gilroy says. I got one shot to tell everything I know, or can discover, or that I've learned about revolution, about battles, with as many incidents and as many colors as I can get in there, without having the story tip over. I mean, let's be honest, man. The history of civilization, there's a huge arterial component of it that's rape. All of us who are here, we are all the product of rape. I mean, armies and power throughout history have committed rape. So to not touch on it in some way, it was just organic, and it felt right, coming about as a power trip for this guy. I was really trying to make a path for Bix that would ultimately lead to clarity, but a difficult path to get back to clarity. Something that's not talked about is apparently American soldiers that fought in World War II also helped themselves to some healthy servings of rape to whoever they found in some of the conquered lands of Germany. That's something that's not talked about in the history books.
Mm. And the people who were, against the sexual assault scene, they ultimately want to ask, is this something that should be in Star Wars and all that? To me, that's not the question at all. The biggest question for any Star Wars fans, whether you like Andor or hate that scene or not, it's, do you want this franchise to grow? And for a lot of people, it's like, no, you don't want this franchise to grow. You just want it to stay the same. And I feel like that question is important, because if the answer is yes, then we gotta get just different kinds of scenes, not just sexual assault scenes or anything like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's like just scenes that what this franchise is about Star Wars, wars in general, and we got to get all of it. And that's really the only way for it to grow, to get every kind of story that we can into this franchise. And that's just not me saying that I want more adult stuff for, political messaging or anything like that in Star Wars. That's just how franchises grow. And you know which one does that? Marvel and DC. It literally started off with Captain America and Superman punching Hitler in the face. And, those kinds of moments of, hey, remember kids, say no to drugs and all that kind of stuff. It was very much for children.
Disney had Donald Duck have a whole series of films that were propaganda against Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. But apparently if that was today, it was like, go woke, go broke. Like, why are you injecting politics? I mean, I just remember people got mad about a year and a half ago when Harrison Ford was doing promo for Indiana Jones 5, and he was like gloating how, yeah, everybody should punch Nazis in the face. And they were like, can you be a little bit, I don't know, more subtle?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
no, yeah. But then also, like what I was saying too, those comics started off like that, childish, just trying to like get people's attention. Very simple messaging, like I said, so drugs, stop people doers and all that, blah, blah, blah. And as the franchises grow, we got all kinds of stories. One of the most controversial comic covers was of a Green Arrow comic. And this is when the drug epidemic was happening. And it was a comic cover of Green Arrow catching his sidekick, Speedy, like shooting heroin in his arm. And back then, that was basically like their version of the sexual assault scene. It's like, oh my gosh, how could you put this here? And, how dare you? But other comics started doing their own thing, whether it was directly heroin or some other kind of drug. It's this is X515 makes you stronger, blah blah blah. It's like it's not actually drugs or anything like that. Whatever, making it subtle, making it to your face. It's telling true stories of what's happening in that moment, and that's just how any franchise grows. You tell what's happening in the moment to get people's attentions, to tell important stories, and when you tell those important stories, they last forever. Like Andor is definitely gonna last forever. Well, depending on how it ends, it could be disappointing. Who knows? But I mean, either way, first season though, for sure, forever.
This was exhilarating. I mean, this is just simply some of the best TV that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then just being here and reacting it alongside you, I think you and I are just getting the same feeling of just like, oh my God, we're watching something truly amazing here happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, great episodes. No notes. I mean, that's just where we are. I mean, we can talk about the Organa thing, but I think there's not much to say.
Oh, yeah, it was 5-second scene, so I don't mind. I thought he was gonna be like in the entire episode. I don't know if he's gonna come out later on in the season, but
he might. I think might
probably
come out later. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why have the character in there at all? So, if it was just for that scene, but
yeah,
I'm sure. Okay.
Well, I think. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to because we don't have much of an option here. Oh well, then I guess we're gonna go ahead and end it off today because I am tired.
Yep.
Thank you all for watching and listening, and we will catch you next time. All right then. Bye-bye.
Bye.